Hello and welcome to another Mugman Custom Showcase, where today we're going to be showing off my custom designed Spider-Man for like a comic book style motion comic. I don't really know what to call it. I wanted to make back in like high school and middle school. But yeah. He's a pretty alright looking Spider-Man. The story of this Spider-Man is the same as your normal 616 Spider-Man until the death of Gwen Stacy. That's when all the deviations really start. They fight on the bridge where Spider-Man has the goal of killing Norman. That doesn't really work out well. And then they fight later on in the warehouse, except things are a bit more brutal. The fight is more brutal. Peter almost dies, and he's like dead set on killing Norman. There is no moment of, oh geez, I was gonna kill him. No. This Peter is straight up going to finish him off until the whole glider thing happens. Norman gets impaled. And rather than having that cathartic when a man dies it should mean something, he just feels personally robbed from his revenge for a time. You know, he goes back to Harry's apartment who's strung out on drugs. Mary Jane's all, sorry man, and he's all, fuck you Mary Jane. Why don't you go party like you always do? And then she says,
You know what, Peter? Screw you. I'm gonna go marry Jameson.
And Mary Jane get married, and Peter, having nothing else to live for, commits suicide, and that's just the end. This guy never actually appears in the book, just on the cover. Nah, just kidding. Oh, she comforts him, they date for a little while, but Peter isn't Spider-Man for like a few weeks, maybe even months. Also, somewhere in this, he straight up told her that he was Spider-Man, and he's given up. And she encourages him over the months to take up the mantle and become Spider-Man again, and eventually he's like, yeah, you're right, the city needs Spider-Man. Shit's out of whack. Daredevil can't handle someone like the fucking Rhino. He got pulverized. With Mary Jane being a model, she hooks him up with some contacts who provide him a new suit. He said he wanted it to be a little bit more striking and threatening. So he sent in some sketches and they come up with this design. And then for the most part things continue as usual. Harry becomes the Green Goblin, and then that's where the story really picks up. Harry gets taken to an asylum, blah blah blah. He comes back, except he doesn't have amnesia. He remembers everything. And to coincide with Harry's return, there's a new goblin running around, calling himself the Hobgoblin. He wants revenge for the death of the real Green Goblin, and seems to know Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin. But who could it be? Could it be Harry, whose alibi is that he was trying to destroy the remaining goblin hideouts to atone for what he's done, and he's truly sorry? Could it be Jason Philip Mackendale wanting to finally make a name for himself as something other than Jack-O-Lantern? Becoming this universe's proper Hobgoblin? Could it be Norman Osborn back from the dead? Wanting revenge? Who could be the new Hobgoblin for this Spider-Man to be fighting? I suppose the storyline is supposed to be a long defeat like Batman the Long Halloween. But with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But with a little bit less mobster murder. And I do mean less, because I toyed with the idea of the Hobgoblin killing Kingpin. And maybe also some other crime figures to start. Like maybe Silvermane and Hammerhead. And taking over parts of the Magia. Further his goals of destroying our friendly neighborhood back alley Spider-Man. Kind of like with all my stop motion projects, I need a green screen, Adobe After Effects, a lot more voice actors, and a lot more figures to be random people. And, you know, voice actors to voice those, because I can do plenty of voices on my own, but that gets kind of exhausting. It requires a lot of editing, because I'll say a line and then have to record it someone else being, you know, me voice acting someone else doing that, so I just, you know, have like an open dialogue over Discord or something. Not important. I don't know, if anyone wants to see that project happen, let me know. There's parts of this that I kind of drew inspiration from, like, the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit, and some other cosplayer that had, like, just an eye design that looked, like, kind of different. I don't think it looked exactly like this, but it looked kind of similar. I wish I could find the video, but I don't even know if that video still exists anymore. If I can, I will link it in the description. That costume is cool. I think it was also the inspiration of why I just have this empty and open. Either that or it was the Mark Webb suit, because, you know, there's just parts on the suit where there just aren't webs. I'm like, well, I'll do that on the chest. And the old new, old different suit kind of played a role in this, because it has, like, those red, like, the red legs and arms kind of right up, in my opinion, more than they should. So I thought, well, I kind of would like it if the blue went in more than it should. So the blue goes down the sleeve more. Goes down the leg a little more. It's supposed to be more symmetrical, obviously, but my sculpting is not the greatest. And of course, this is on one of those Hasbro Power Ranger bodies, so it's got quite good articulation. I just didn't like the resculpting boots or anything, so I just put on some spare Amazing Spider-Man and/or bootleg Amazing Spider-Man calves, and yeah, I think it looks good-ish. At least either way, I get Hasbro's Stylin' ankle pivot. Though with him being on that body, I think he's a little shorter than he should be. Screw it, we're moving to the workbench now, because I needed a flat surface. And I got the tripod, I keep forgetting I have this down here. So yeah, yeah, this is not exactly symmetrical, is it? Wow. I really need to do this better. I've been doing YouTube for like, what, 7 years? And I still suck. Yeah, and here he's compared to my soon-to-be custom Mezco-style black suit Spider-Man. I really gotta do something about his legs, are kind of loose. But as you can see here, he's just a little bit taller, and I wish this guy was a little bit taller. But then again, I made this guy a while ago, right? Though if I were to do a redo of this guy, or something I plan on doing anyway, because this guy's going to be covered by a costume, but I really like the way his proportions are. So this is also on the same Power Rangers body. I feel like I have a third custom on this body, but I probably don't, and I'm misremembering. No, I wasn't misremembering. I just forgot I sent this guy off to become a Mezco custom, because that's what he was going to be used for. And now this guy doesn't want to stay up, even on the flat surface. But yeah, this is just like perfect proportions for a Spidey, in my opinion. It's got great articulation, you know, it's pivoting and all that. Slightly modified to give this more this. I just gotta be careful, because I bought like one of those bootleg pizza Spideys. Because I wanted like the import figure style wrists and such. Which is great that I have, but these legs are also, like, the actual double-jointed knees are kind of loose. Definitely want to make another custom using this kind of method, though. Maybe it'll be a revamped version of this guy. Or maybe it'll be that Spider-Man Unlimited custom I've been wanting to make for, like, 2 years now. You know, the size difference isn't the worst. It still works. Although he looks less like a, you know, young adult in grad school Spider-Man, and more like a like an older teenager. Actually, you know, looking at this and considering the wrinkles and all these and the proportions, this almost looks like this could make a good like manga Spidey. Actually, like, yeah. I mean, I was just gonna use like the ultimate body if I were to ever make one, but I don't know. This could also work. The head seems kind of big on the body. Just need some bigger hands, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, that would probably work great for, Yu Komori. Or would I... that's, I guess, the more American pronunciations. I guess Komori Yu. Great shit, by the way. But yeah, that's not really much to say, other than I kind of just drew this in my notebook and decided, hey, screw it. Let's make a story I'm never going to produce, I guess. And let's make a custom in case I ever do decide I want to produce it, which I really do. Really, really do. I'd love to stop motion this. Or even make it an audio drama, or even if I just make it like a motion comic with a CBA artwork and very, very, very stilted stop motion. That'd be kind of cool too. Just love this design. Maybe I'm a little biased because I made it myself, but I just kind of love the way that this Spider-Man looks. Because, like, he looks kind of angry and all, but he also still looks like Spider-Man. Like, this just seems like a seasoned Spider-Man. Like, he'll still make jokes and all that like normal Spider-Man, but it's also like, I've seen some crap, kids. You know? In my opinion, it's just really cool. Oh, and another design thing I didn't notice. There's a little, like, V-shaped divot on the back, like the 90s cartoon, because why not? Yeah, anyway, that's my custom, guys. I'm just rambling at this point. I don't ever come into these videos with a script, and perhaps I should. But yeah, that's my custom. If anyone wants to see that thing happen, let me know. Love to write some scripts. actually produce it. Because I was trying to make an issue 1. I don't even know where that notebook is. I don't think I ever finished it, but yeah. This is the Spider-Man from a thing I wanted to do. Now, if you'll excuse this guy, he's got to go battle the Hobgoblin.